Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a T110E3. It's a Tier 10 American tank destroyer. It's located on the south spawn of Ruinberg, and this one is under the command of Clean Sweeper Marksman. Now, he's armed with the 155mm gun, capable of doing 750 alpha, penetrating 375mm, and he's only actually loaded the APCI. He hasn't even bothered to load any of the standard ammo on this occasion because he's out to do damage. Game on! It's a tier 10 game, nothing but tier 10s in this game. Our team has 2 EBRs, the enemy team has 2 EBRs, so we're probably going to see those nuisances. In fact, they're at the centre line already. Yeah, they're such a pest, but there you go. At least both sides have the same number of EBRs, which means that it's not a foregone conclusion that it's going to be a victory for one side or the other. Now, this tank was supposed to be a replacement or another alternative to the T95. It was part of the T110 series of tanks. In fact, it was the third version that Chrysler came up with. This was the third 120mm heavy tank. But in actual fact, they eventually, or they put in the game, they put the 155mm gun on it, and it's a very, very strong tank destroyer. And look at those guys pull back. They see an E3 and they have to pull back, but the Arty, well, 2 Artys actually got hits. One of them was the GW-E100, the other one was the Conqueror gun carriage. So he's been stunned and he has lost some hit points, but he does have a very large pool to play with. Now, it's only got a narrow gun arc of 16 degrees, and looks like that E100's coming out to play. We've only got the top of his turret at the moment. There you go. Yep, 825, a high roll. And now he's got a long reload. Standard reload 16.3 seconds. He's got it down to 13.09. And he's ready to shoot. Now, the reason they actually came up with these other proposals was that the T95 really wasn't capable of fitting through the Bern tunnel. Yep, that tunnel in Europe, in Switzerland. It just couldn't get the T95 through there. Oh, another shot through the turret, but a low roll this time. So what they decided to do instead was come up with alternative designs, and this was one of the ones. The project wasn't accepted, it was cancelled, so the tank never got built. It's supposed to have less armour than the T95 on the sides and rear, but it's still got a huge amount of armour on the front. In fact, it's over 305mm. Effective armour is actually 600mm plus. As you can see from the front of the vehicle, it's got a huge mantlet, which is virtually impossible for the enemy to punch through. Okay, Jaegeru. Oh, the E4 wants a shot as well. Well, he's actually pushing himself forward to block the shot on the Jaegeru's lower plate, and the Jaegeru tracks us, and the E4 doesn't get any damage at all, but we do get stunned from a near miss. Yeah, we blocked a shot for 1050. That was the 17cm shell from the Jagdpanzer E100. So he's got 2,243 hit points of damage so far, but he's still got to get another 3,000 hit points to get the high caliber. Okay, who's next? It's the E4, I think, this time. Oh, no, it's the Jaegeru again. And the Jaegeru's out of the game this time. He blocked another shot from him. Where are these shots actually hitting? Oh, he went for the upper plate. Look, he went for the upper plate, and of course he couldn't pen it. Effective armour 600mm. I think you can understand why the guy couldn't get that shot through. Now, bit of a hasty one on the E100. He pulls back just in time to avoid getting wiped out. But the E4 is still there. Okay, he's not going to cross the gap though. Not just yet, anyway. The reason being, of course, in order to make the tank faster, more agile than a T95, they actually had to shave the armour off the sides and the rear, and that makes it slightly more vulnerable than the T95 to being hit in the side. It's only 76mm on the side. Oh, EBR dies. Always nice to see an EBR die. Should we see that again? I always like to see EBRs die. Yep, we'll rewind that right in the middle of the battle. Okay. You can see the battle's going on. Enemy EBR approaching. He's right behind us at the moment. And yep, that's the signal we've been spotted. The EBR's just going around shooting at our teammates, and he's going to make his way past us very, very shortly. It's actually quite a good move here. Hello! That is a kill. Nicely done. Okay, so second kill. Who's next? Is it going to be the E100? Or is it the T110E4's turn to take the shell? It's gone kind of quiet at the moment. Well, they're still trying to get at him, but they haven't got a kill yet. Oh, E100 poked out to make a shot, and he dies to our FB4005. We're actually 2 tanks down on the enemy at the moment, but there's still everything to play for. Yep, he realises, the 60 TP realises his cupola was actually open, and here comes the E4, takes another round. The Conqueror gun carriage did get a hit, and so did the E4. So we're down to 579 hit points now. Okay, he's got rid of the stun. They've actually got 2,000 hit points less health than the enemy at the moment, so the enemy is doing rather well. But can we change that? Oh, it ricochets off the 60 TP. You can see where one of the shells from the Conqueror gun carriage hit. It actually impacted on the exhaust box on top of the engine. But the enemy's just lost 2 tanks, which puts the score even, and they've actually got less hit points than we've got now. And since there's nobody covering the other corner, he could drive across the gap now. The enemy's got a Jaeger, a T110E4 and a 60 TP. 3 Arty in the background somewhere. Now actually would be more helpful for him to cross the gap, mainly because the enemy Arty won't be able to get a shot at him, well not easily anyway, if he's over on the other corner. And the Jaeger's decided to cut across straight away, and Clean Sweeper Marksman's decided to do the same. Yep, I thought it was a smart move. He couldn't do it while the E100 was there, because the E100 would have tried a shot. And in fact, actually, the E4 is still there, but he's dead now. Yep, he made a big mistake to try and come around the corner, because Clean Sweeper Marksman was ready for him. So the Jaeger managed to entice him out, and now it's just a question of dealing with this 60 TP. But in order to do that, he's got to go around the corner. Remember, the 60 TP's got a 152mm gun. Jaeger is fully, it's got all his health. Okay, he's going to go this side round. There's the enemy Jaeger, who's a one-shot. And hello. Oh, yes, that's better. And another kill for Clean Sweeper Marksman. He's only 669 hit points away from getting a high caliber. And another 2 kills to get a top gun. There goes one of the enemy Arty, the GWE. Next target is the Conqueror. Unfortunately, that wreck's going to be a bit of a problem. And the EPR has managed to get in there already. Fox amongst the chickens. Will the Conqueror come around the corner? Oh! He missed! He didn't let it dial in before he shot. Okay, you get another chance. Oh, and unfortunately he's lost it because the Conqueror's decided to push forward, and that is the end of the game. So sadly he misses out on a top gun, and he's short on the 20%. Here's the end of battle stats, and in that game it was a second class tanker for Clean Sweeper Marksman in the T110E3. In fact, that's the first time he's had a second class tanker in this vehicle. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He did get 4 exactly. A sharpshooter for getting at least 10 consecutive shots on the enemy, as well as a shell proof for blocking the most damage in the game, or not blocking the most damage, blocking more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. A master gunner for getting 5 armor penetrating shots in a row, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and a firefighter effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. His win rate from that battle was 4,293, which is, as you know, is Super Unicum standard. So let's have a look at team score and see where he was. Right at the top of the table, he was leading. Yes, he didn't get 20% of the enemy hit pool, but he did get the highest damage in the game by far. 4,549 hit points went to him, and 4,325 went to the Jaeger, and 4,149 to the other Jaeger. So it's them and this Heshbarn who are doing most of the damage in the game. Just 4 players were accounting for most of the enemy damage. When it came to kills, he shared the top spot with the FV4005. They've both got 4 kills apiece. The Jaeger and the EPR105 managed to get 2 kills alongside the T110E4, the Jaeger and the Gorilla 15 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, it's still Clean Sweeper Marksman, so technically he's got the top in all 3 columns. He got 994 from that game, 952 went to the FE4005 and 921 went to the EBR105 on his own team. He fired 12 rounds in that game, got 10 direct hits and 8 penetrations on the enemy, 4,549 hit points of damage. He received 5 hits from the enemy, 1 was a penetration, 3 non-penetrations, and 5 hits by way of splash damage. The penetrating shot was the T110E4, managed to get a good one in on him, I'm afraid, when he was pulling back. But it was the Arty that was actually hitting him incessantly. 5 shots fired at him by the Arty. Most of them did damage, or at least stunned him in some way. 2,850 hit points of damage blocked by the armour. 5 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, and 843 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 55,787 from that game, 30,000 for completing a mission, 85,787 altogether. After repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, and remember he was firing premium ammo throughout, he actually ended up with a loss of 15,391 credits. The reason he's firing premium ammo is that the enemy are going to be doing the same. And of course, he did so definitely wanted to get the pen on the enemy to make sure that he did some damage and won the game. 7 bonds for this being a tier 10 game. 1,491 XP, 2,982 for the mission, and 4,473 experience points altogether. So sadly, he didn't get the highest, the high caliber, but he did get the highest damage, which is something. And of course, yes, he stood his ground really strongly and didn't let the enemy get any. He did get hit, but he didn't let the enemy take away too much of his hit points. The saddest thing about that game is the fact that he missed out on that kill on the Conqueror gun carriage, and it's because he fired a split second before he was ready. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have got that kill as well, and so he would have ended up with 5 kills at least 1/3 of the enemy team. That would have been nice, but 4 kills is still good all the same. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.